What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, my husband Jared and I are going to be doing the no recipe baking challenge. Baby's asleep, we got a little bit of time to hang out, have a little date moment, and we are going to take on, everything's a date moment when baby is asleep now, and we're going to be doing the no recipe baking challenge. So essentially for this challenge, neither of us have looked at the recipe that we're going to be making, so we're going to be baking cookies today, and we're going to be doing it based off of memory.
How many times have you baked cookies in your life?
I make cookies quite a few times, but I never use the same recipe is my issue. So I don't have like one recipe that I can go back to as like that's everything that's in a cookie recipe.
Yes. I think I've made cookies maybe 3 times in my entire life.
Alright, so this should be interesting. Neither one of us have seen the recipe for this, neither one of us have checked measurements, so I've kind of gone off of my best assumption of what I've used before, and I feel like I'm going to be really relying on you for measurements because that is not my strong suit. That's like the science element of it.
It's not science.
It is science, it's totally a science.
This is also a time trial because Viv has probably 30 minutes left in her nap, so not only do we need to make this, remember we need to make it in like 30 minutes.
As I mentioned, we're not looking at any recipes for this, so in post, I'm actually going to edit in and put what the real ingredient was that we were supposed to use for a basic chocolate chip cookie recipe, as well as the accurate measurement, so you guys can see how close we were to getting all of this stuff right.
How far off we were.
Yeah.
Take a second and like the video, subscribe. We are shooting for, how many likes are we shooting for in this video?
150.
150 likes.
150 likes.
Love to see it. The button's right underneath. Just click the like button. It goes a long way for helping other people see this content. Like goes 150. What do you think?
Yeah, without further ado, let's get started.
Okay.
So for ingredients, I've pulled out flour. I figured that was a given. We've got all-purpose flour here. I'm going with white sugar. I know sometimes chocolate chip cookies can call for brown sugar, but I feel like this is probably more of like the basic ingredient. We've got butter. And it's at room temp, so I took it out of the fridge. I feel like that's a key thing. I don't know if it's supposed to be melted or not, but room temperature. 2 eggs.
Also room temp.
At room temp. Vanilla. This is basically just like basic vanilla extract. 2 bags of chocolate chips. This is more than baking for sure. That was baking powder. I didn't know if it was baking powder or baking soda or corn. I don't think it's cornstarch.
I don't think it's cornstarch.
Pretty sure it's baking powder. So that's what we've got for ingredients. You guys can see if we were right or not.
That's the ingredients. We need to split our wets and our dries.
I think that you're supposed to put the wets into like a mixer.
I remember you have to beat the sugar and the butter together.
Okay, that's probably a good call.
And then I think you put the eggs in.
Okay.
So how much butter do we put?
Well,
I think we need to start with this thing. I'm gonna start with all of this. We'll get these out. I don't know which one of these we're gonna use, but
so we're not making bread.
I
know that much.
Cookie dough.
That's but that's like for bread specifically. It's more thick.
Okay, so
do we use a whisk or this?
No. I think we use this, but I don't think we're gonna get.
I don't know what this is called.
This is like a mixer handle.
Awesome.
I think we should use half
of
what's there.
Oh.
No, half of this block.
1 cup of butter.
I think so.
Those are going to be really buttery. Like.
I think you usually use a lot of butter.
Alright, I'm going to go off of his measurement assumption. I feel like I personally would have used half a cup, but...
You'd use half a cup of butter?
But I'm going to go with what you think.
I think it's at least a cup.
The more butter, the better, right?
Because I always remember being like, wow, we're burning through butter when we make cookies.
Okay, so for sugar... I feel like we maybe should have started with, no, this is right.
This is right.
I'm having a hard time going back and forth mentally between like the dry and the wet stuff.
Stick with one.
Okay, thinking about flour, because you have to think about sugar and flour like in the same, like if you're using like 2 cups of flour or something, like you wouldn't use 2 cups of sugar.
No, the ratio of the flour to the sugar is
like
important.
2 to 1, or would it be like, because I don't know if
this is what I have no idea about.
Half a cup or 1 cup of sugar.
I think we should use 1 cup of sugar. It's always stupid how much sugar is in cookies.
Alright, I mean, let's do it. I'm trusting you on the measurements here. That was the ingredient side of things. They always tell you not to pour your ingredients over the bowl, right?
I know, I thought about that when I was doing it, but they also tell you to use a recipe, and we're not doing that either. So that seems like a lot of sugar. That seems like we might have too much sugar.
Alright.
Maybe it was like 3/4 of a cup.
I don't know. Alright.
That seems like a lot of sugar.
Well, maybe they'll just taste better then.
Okay, I think we gotta beat it together now.
Let's do it.
Okay, this is looking decent. Yeah.
Alright, should we scrape the sides? It's an important part of making.
Yeah, but we gotta get the egg in first.
Okay.
I think we now need to, but wait, we should do our dries first
Okay.
before we do this.
I'll do that.
How
I'm gonna
much
go through this
flour do you
first.
think we need? If we did 1 cup of sugar and 1
I'm
cup
gonna
of
say
butter.
2 cups because there was a lot of everything else in there, and I feel like if there's gonna be saving grace, it's gonna be the amount of flour that we use now.
Here's the problem I have with that. If we do 2 cups of flour, it seems like it's like they'll be really like cakey and the sweetness
I like
won't
cakey.
spread. But they won't. No, the sweetness won't spread out across the cookie.
Bruh.
It'll be.
1 friggin' cup of sugar in there.
I know, but I think it's gonna be like 1.5 cups of flour. You think it's 2 full
I'm
cups?
almost convinced it would be 2 cups.
Put a cup in there and see how much that is.
I can visually see how much it is when it's in here. We can't add that in
Yeah,
because
I
all the
think you're
dries
right.
have to be
I
together
think you're
first.
right. I think
Okay.
it's 2 cups.
So there's our flour. And then, I mean, the only other dry ingredient that I have then, because sugar went in that,
We
is
need a little
baking
bit
powder.
of vanilla in here.
Wait, you think you're supposed to, you don't just like dump it.
You just get the vibe. You gotta get the vibe of how
We
much
didn't even
vanilla.
measure that at all.
Doesn't
So
matter. It's just for flavor. You beat it with the
should
butter.
we have baking soda in this?
I don't know. Baking soda.
I
I don't know if we could have baking powder.
I'm almost positive.
What does baking powder do? Does it say?
I don't know. It's what makes them rise, I'm pretty sure. As much as cookies are meant to rise, this is what does it.
There's no information on this
No.
bottle at all.
There's
Just satisfying.
There's cornstarch in it. So Alright, so half a teaspoon of baking powder is what we're gonna do here.
Yeah.
Alright, so I mean those are our only dry ingredients. Flour and baking powder. Do we put the eggs into this before
I think we
mix
no
the
no.
dry?
I think we put the eggs in here.
We do, but is that before or
Are you sure
after?
there's 2? Are you sure there's 2 eggs?
Yeah. For 2 cups of flour, I think there would be 2 eggs.
Yeah, I think that's a rule. Every cup of flour is equal to 1 egg.
I don't know. Okay.
The order of things I think I'm actually have like good awareness on. How do I crack this?
I feel like we got a pretty good handle on this.
This is significantly easier than I thought it was gonna be. Unless we're so off on
We're
it.
so far off. Well, the true test will be once we put them in the oven and bake them. Because the other thing is we've got to guess at temperature for the oven, cook time, and all of that fun stuff too.
The dry is going in.
All right, let's do it.
I feel like you're not supposed to do it all at once. I think you're supposed to do some,
Mix and then add the
mix,
rest
and
in.
then add the rest.
Okay, let's try that.
Whoa, a little spice on
It's still pretty friggin' buttery.
there. I have a feeling it's 1 egg.
You think? I think it's the butter that's doing us in right now.
No, I don't think so. I think it's the eggs.
It's
we have way
uber buttery.
sugar.
You think it's the sugar that's the
I
issue?
think it's too much
For sure,
sugar
this is the butter.
and too much butter.
If I had to guess based on like past baking experiences, I'm pretty sure when we bake these, because of the butter, they're gonna be like really thin and flat and almost like a caramelized dish.
That's
You know
nice,
what I
yeah, I
mean?
like
Where
that.
it's like very crispy. So I don't think that they'll be disgusting, but it's not gonna. I don't think this is gonna be like an accurate chocolate chip cookie.
Well, who decides whether it's accurate or not? I think we need more flour in this. Can you just put another like half a cup of flour in it?
We're gonna try another half cup of flour because it's looking like it's a little too creamy right now
Yeah.
for our liking. I also just fully left this in the bag. Mix that up and we'll see what happens.
Alright.
I mean, so this is with another half a cup of flour added. It's still, I think this is the butter that is like, it looks like actual whipped cream.
It smells great.
Okay, perfect.
I think we should just go with this. We can keep adding flour until we run out of flour, but I think that we should just
Let's
do
roll
all
with it. We've got 2 bags of chocolate chips. This is our last ingredient. Let's do like a half a bag of this.
These are really nice.
Just like taking a snack break. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Mmm.
Is that enough, do you think? Yeah, it's like half a bag.
We need more chocolate chips.
More? Like an entire bag? Because that's like where
maybe
we're
not
at.
the whole bag, but maybe the whole bag, dude.
All right, whole bag. Whole bag of Chip-Its in.
Stuff.
All right.
This is very chocolate chippy. This is
Very buttery.
This is very sugary.
These are gonna be some good chocolate.
These are gonna be
cookies.
rich, delicate, beautiful, inspiring chocolate chips.
And then we just put these into round little balls on here, whatever size we want.
Hey, bad boys, this is my.
You're making these massive. They're gonna. Okay, can we just acknowledge the roundness of mine versus the
No,
baseball,
no.
just like messiness of yours?
That's what makes them good. If they're too round, they're too perfect. Like two perfect little.
So you want to
chocolate
just
cookies.
slap them on there.
That gives them like the texture when you're eating them.
You want your cookies to have character. What would you say is the worst thing I have ever baked?
Baked or like made, like cooked?
Baked specifically. Why? Do you have a long list?
I don't know if you baked anything too bad. Do you remember something bad that you baked? I don't recall anything in particular.
One time when I was like 13, I tried to bake a cake for Halloween and I accidentally used salt instead of sugar. And my whole family ate it to make me feel better.
That's gross.
Okay.
I mean, they look good. They look like cookies. They look like they have extra butter and extra sugar in the cookies.
Okay, so we made a ton of dough, but here's what we have to put into the oven. Let's put this in now and see how it goes. All right, they're going in. Our guess is 350 and maybe 12 minutes is what I would say.
I think that's good. The
All right.
Costco ones I think take like 14 or 15, so maybe we'll check them at 13 minutes.
Okay. The camera just got super foggy when I opened this up, but I think they look pretty good. They look cakey, they look buttery. We're gonna have to give them a try. All right, so we're back and we are here with our special little girl. She decided to wake up and join the party. To be fully transparent, it's been a couple hours. She woke up, I had to feed her, things got a little bit crazy, then we needed to leave the house. So we still have not tried these cookies yet. Like they've been sitting and cooling on the top of the oven for probably 3 or 4 hours and we have not tried these yet. So we're going to do the final reveal and test them on camera, and then we're going to check and look to see the actual recipe to see how close we were to getting this right. This is a look at what it looks like from the top. Very cakey, very delicious. You can see on this one that it's like golden brown. I think that's from the butter. I honestly think they look pretty good. What do you think?
I feel look great. I think for not having any recipe or any idea what we're doing, like I thought they were gonna come out mush or like you said, super flat and crispy, but
Yeah, this looks like pretty good to
like
me.
cookies.
Yeah.
At the same time, like how much can you screw up butter, flour, sugar? They're good.
Yeah.
It tastes like a
It's very
sugar cookie.
cakey. Mm-hmm.
It's like a sugar cookie.
It's like a
at,
cakey or
Christmas.
sugar cookie.
Yeah.
Did she just shoot her sugar out of her mouth?
Mm-hmm.
That was impressive. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Very cakey. Got a few chocolate chunks in there. I feel like if we didn't put 1,000 chocolate chips in this, that it wouldn't be that sweet.
Yeah, it's bland. There wasn't nearly enough vanilla.
Yeah, and you dumped a lot of vanilla in there.
Basically just like a vehicle to get chocolate chips.
Our recipe calls for an entire bag of Chip-Its. Okay, so now is the moment of truth where we are going to look at an actual chocolate chip cookie recipe and see how close we were on measurements and ingredients. Simple chocolate chip cookies. This is a Food Network recipe. 2.5 cups, no, 2 1/4 cups. That's exactly what we did.
We didn't put a quarter cup
We
in.
did though.
No,
I feel
we
like we did, because didn't we do 2 and then we were like, this needs more flour and we added another.
Oh.
But I think we added 1/2 cup, so we added a little bit more flour
Yeah, we
actually
did
than
2.5,
this even
that's
said. But yeah, we
You're
ended
right.
up finally doing 2.5 cups. So we were close with 2 1/4
1
cup.
teaspoon baking soda, we screwed that up.
Yeah, we only used, what was
Half.
it, 1/2 teaspoon? 1/2 teaspoon
Yeah.
of baking soda. No, we used baking powder. We didn't use baking soda.
Interesting.
We didn't use baking soda at all.
What is 12 tablespoons of butter? Hey Google, how many cups is 12 tablespoons of butter?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Of course.
Hey Google, how many tablespoons are in 1 cup of butter?
Do I need to literally
So
pull out a
16
calculator?
tablespoons.
Okay,
16 tablespoons.
And this one wanted 12. So we did,
No, that's so annoying.
1.5
Like, I want to
times.
know what it actually is.
so 3/4 of a cup, and we used a cup, so we were up on the butter.
Yeah, we were like a little bit up, but not by much.
Cup.
For sugar though, we were
1/4
off.
cup
We were
high.
way behind on the sugar apparently. So this had 3/4 a cup of packed light brown sugar and 2/3 a cup of granulated sugar.
Wow, we were light on the sugar. That was so much
But I'm
sugar.
pretty sure, yeah, we were light on the sugar.
We were only light on the sugar by like a 1/4 cup.
So we were actually pretty close
Honestly,
across the
we
board.
are the Food
The only
Network.
things we are Martha Stewart.
We just happen to get really fortunate and eyeball it and do a good job. But our background is not in baking, and neither of us are good bakers.
We just have a
just
good
got
memory.
lucky.
We have a good memory and we've got common sense, I think.
Yeah.
So needless to say,
Except we don't know what baking powder or baking soda is.
if you want us to try something a little bit harder, drop in the comment section what dessert or even
I'm not
just
doing that
food
again with the harder
thing.
thing.
We should do it, like, could you imagine doing like a lemon meringue pie?
I was gonna
Just
say lemon
actually
meringue
guessing
pie.
it? We're so in sync. Comment down below with something that you want us to try. Maybe we'll bring this back at some point. You know what would be fun is if you guys comment desserts down below in the comment section, and then each of you go and like the comment of like the person's dessert that you want us to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
whichever
yeah.
comment has the most likes on it, maybe we'll try and make that thing next.
Yeah, maybe.
So make them complicated and we'll
Don't make
we'll
them
up it up from
complicated.
chocolate chip cookies a
Make
little
it
bit.
toast.
All right, well, it's time to get this girl down to bed, and we are going to go to bed now too. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope that you enjoyed seeing our take on the No Recipe Baking Challenge. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I have at least one video coming out per week right now, so stay tuned for that. But also make sure that you like this video before you head out today. The like goal is 150 likes, and I know that we can get there. So I would love for you to do that before you go. But until my next video, I love you guys, praying for you guys, and I will see you soon.